in this Republican convention, we lack a real punch. You know what I mean? We don't have anybody that can just go out there and campaign. And John Connolly's the only one that can do it. Now, they're mixed feelings, you know, and Lee, they say he's controversial. But the thing is, he makes the issues. And the Republicans have the good issues if we can just get them across, if we can just put them in there and put them on TV and put them in the print.
Well, I'd be opposed to Connolly. I think that Connolly, by virtue of the fact that he's connected with Watergate and the milk fund scandal, would be a real drag on the ticket. The Democrats and Jimmy Carter are already gearing their campaign to attack Watergate. Mr. Connolly held a press conference yesterday, and he was raked over the coals on the defense for a full 30 minutes. The whole topic and the only topic was the milk fund scandal, and I think this would be a disaster for the ticket.
John Connolly will address this convention tonight and almost certainly outperform Howard Baker. The question is this: can this exceedingly complex man present himself in terms simple enough to reassure the delegates at this convention and to reassure their probable nominee, Gerald Ford? To accomplish what they believed would be the miracle of the century, the nomination of Governor Reagan for president. Themselves to help pay for the beer, in hopes that they could generate enough enthusiasm to carry their man to the top of the ticket. Crowds cheered Reagan wherever he went, but it wasn't enough. Richard Schweiker had been chosen to help in Pennsylvania, but he never quite delivered the 23 delegates promised earlier this week. Senator Hugh Scott correctly pronounced the verdict in favor of Ford.
We think some of the few 13 Reagan delegates will probably be changing their minds too. Looks now like 88-91, 88-92, something like that.
It began to look as if the president had put the name of William Scranton on his list of running mates as a well-aimed ploy to keep those Pennsylvania delegates on the reservation. The other big block of uncommitted votes, those 30 delegates from Mississippi, broke their silence and their unit rule and went 16-14 for Ford.
We didn't intend to be, nobody expected to be down to the wire like this, but in the process, I think that people felt like that they represented their state well, and we can go home and do a good job electing a nominee this fall.
Texans fought for
governor. The first mistake he made, which in my opinion was the greatest political blunder of the 20th century, is when he put in Schweiker. And Reagan bought it in 30 minutes. And the second big mistake that he made is when he put in C-16 last night and be voted on. I think without those two things, Reagan was a shoo-in.
Wanted for a betting man, he'd call it Ford 55%, Carter 45% in November. But then he added, it's not over yet.